Naivasha resort has already started. Are trickling in. Let me just pick a soundbite from one of our leaders, that is Senator Tabitha, because she's going inside this particular meeting that the UDA brigade is currently holding. Senator, thank you for joining us and give us a brief. What will be happening today?
Basically is Kenya Kwanza, and of course with our very good friends, our brothers and sisters from ODM. As you know, for the last 2 years we came together and we have a formation called the Broad Base. So you're just basically coming to look at the achievements that we've been able to do for the last 4 years together. For the last years there's been quite milestones, and we see the blueprint that we want to come up with as far as 2027 manifestation is concerned. So the discussion is actually more of the 2027, what we want to present to Kenyans, and the scorecard as at now in 2026. So that's just basically our discussion. Yes.
Because the opposition is saying today you're here to just share power.
I think as you've been keenly observing the opposition, of course they have no agenda. Our agenda here today is just basically to talk about the plans that we, the broad-based formation, will be achieving come 2027, and what has it been able to achieve for the last 2 years when we came together as broad-based, and for the last 4 years what we've also been able to achieve. So of course, what do you expect from them? We bring leaders together. The president has shown leadership of inclusivity, leadership that is tribeless, leadership that brings the picture of Kenya together. So that's what we're basically discussing. And you know very well, as Kenya Kwanza, the president, Dr. William Ruto, has always opened doors for us when it comes to matters parliamentary groups. This is not the first time we are having these meetings. These are continuous meetings that the president had promised when we were forming government. It's just a continuation of what we had promised one another.
Yes. Thank you so much, Senator. Always a pleasure having you. Let's also get a chance to speak to Mheshimiwa KJ. Mheshimiwa KJ, thank you for joining KBC Channel 1. What does this day signify for both ODM and the UDA party?
And even for Kenya, because this day signifies exactly 1 year before Kenya goes to a very important and decisive election. For UDA, I would imagine that UDA is continuing on its declared mission, which is to unify the country. And you remember in the runner-up to the last election, UDA did come together in a coalition that was called Kenya Kwanza. And the narrative that was driven during that election is that we can be a country that goes to an election on topical issues, not on tribalism, not on name calling, but to get an agenda. But today, as we speak, for those of us who are in UDA and in the broader Kenya Kwanza coalition, it's to first take stock of what we have been able to deliver for the last 4 years. And you shall be seeing coming out from today a good report card to the country, saying to Kenya that this is what we committed to do. This is the manifesto that we had in the last election. This is how far we have gone in rolling out what it is that we pledged to do in our manifesto, and even more importantly, looking into the future. What is this generation of leadership imagining Kenya to be in the days that are coming, and looking far into the future, noting full well that we are coming to the end of an epoch. We are coming to a time when we are coming to the end of a Marshall Plan. We all remember that we had this massive Marshall Plan called the Kenya Kwanza Marshall Plan. And if you look at what UDA has done in the last 4 years, if you look at what the broad-based government has done in the last 2 years, it speaks to those ambitions and aspirations that were in the Vision 2030, up to and including agriculture. It has to do with housing, it has to do with labor and jobs for young people, and it also has to do with a country that is forging towards a united republic more than a republic of tribal states. Yes.
Thank you so much, Mheshimiwa KJ. Thank you also for speaking to KBC Channel 1. You have just heard from Mheshimiwa KJ. Good to see you. Thank you so much, sir. And of course, if my cameraman is able to show you, we have Mheshimiwa. Hey, Mheshimiwa, speak to Kenyans. We're already live. You can tell them what should be the expectation, not only from you leaders, but what is it in it for Kenyans?
Thank you so much, Member of Parliament, Baringo County. My name is Jematia. Today is a very important day for us leaders and Kenyans. We are here to check up the progress of government, especially on the broad-based government. And we've been together for a while now, probably 2 years down. And we want to do some scorecard and see where we can enhance better governance and better delivery to Kenyans in terms of services. And also we will discuss more about coalition, proper coalitions. As you know, we are gearing up for the next general elections, and everyone is expecting a good or a better, model going forward. Definitely, this is Kenya. Every 5 years, we have a way of, remodeling our politics so that we go hand in hand with the expectation of the Kenyans. Definitely, we are already in power sharing. In Kenya, I think after the promulgation of 2010 election and subsequent elections, we've realized that it is not possible for one single party, specifically a ruling party, to just walk straight to back again to elections. So as we have been working through the same sharing as broad-based, we call it, we will definitely have to define more and better way of reaching Kenyans. Thank you so much.
Let's allow you to go inside. Of course, the leaders are currently converging here behind us at the Kiboko Hall. They want to have an tete-a-tete before they head over to the main tent where all the leaders are meeting. We can confirm to you on this particular side, the CS for ICT, that is William Kabogo, and a host of members of parliament. We can also confirm the head of public service, that is Felix Koskei, has arrived as well. Let's also pick the brain of Mheshimiwa. Mheshimiwa, allow us to ambush you. We're currently live on KBC. This is Mheshimiwa. You can look at the camera. Mheshimiwa, all the way from Kibra. Mheshimiwa, what are your expectations today and for the people of Kibra?
Of course, we are in a broad-based government. Today we want to take stock of really what this current government, the Kenya Kwanza government, has done since we joined the broad-based government. We look at all the areas of the promises, the 10 points agenda that we did with them, and how far they have gone to. We also want to look at if we are going to have a political framework, a framework that will make the UD and ODM work together in the coming general election. Now we need to see whether we have people from our side who will work together with the people from UDA to come up with a joint kind of manifesto, if we have to run together, and see how politically we'll manage our expectations in coming the next general election. So we have to negotiate as political parties. We need to have ODM negotiating with UDA from now on and see how the next government is going to be formed and what percentage, what portion of the government really, if we have to form a government, our demands should be respected. Their demands also should be respected. That is why today we have our party leader, Dr. Ogingo Buru, and also the president of this country.
Thank you so much, Mheshimiwa. Let's allow you to go also into the meeting. Just heard there a number of members of parliament as well as governors and deputy governors who are currently speaking to. The CS for ICT, William Kabogo, has already arrived. We can see the Blue and Maritime Cabinet Secretary, that is Ali Hassan Joho, has already arrived here. The Cabinet Secretaries, also the cabinets are here, the Cabinet Ministers are here just to give an overview and oversight this particular process that is currently happening here at the Lake Naivasha Resort. Also, the House leadership has already arrived here at the Lake Naivasha Resort. We want to get this particular opportunity to speak to some of the cabinet secretaries who are already accorded here and arrived. We're trying to get an opportunity to speak to them as and when we do so. Also, we do have Dorcas Odwori, the Attorney General, has already arrived here, as well as other leaders who are currently converging here. They already set up the red carpet. Any moment from now, President William Ruto and the ODM party leader, that is Oburu Oginga, will be walking down this particular end to just meet the members of parliament and leaders who have converged here just to have a conversation ahead of their main conversation that will be happening inside that particular tent. We just heard from leaders on a number of key issues they will be speaking to, taking stock of how the broad broad-based government has been working for the last 1 year or so since its inception following President William Ruto as well as the late Prime Minister, that is Raila Amolo Odinga, signed that particular agreement at the Kenyatta International Convention Center on a workable agreement between the two parties, that is the ruling UDA party as well as the ODM party. A number of leaders will also press them to ask them questions about if this is going to be a conversation about forming a power, and of course they're shying away from that particular conversation, but it's something they can also talk to. We can also see the Migori governor here coming in as well. The governors are also present. We also saw the Meru governor and also Wesley Rotich. A number of county heads are already arrived at this particular vicinity. Also senators, given that this is a conversation that will be happening across all this particular structured leadership positions in this particular venue. Also, they will be focusing on the NADCO report and its status of implementation in this particular venue. Also, we can see Senator Veronica Maina already arrived here. Senator Karibu Sana. We're trying to get a number of them to speak to them. Mheshimiwa, if you'll allow us kindly, we're live on KBC. Mheshimiwa, Karibu Sana. You can tell us what are your expectations as a leader? You can look at the camera and tell us.
Oh my. Good morning, Kenya, and welcome to Naivasha. Today, as the ruling majority, we are caucusing to decide on how to finish the last mile. Today is exactly 1 year to the next polling, and we need what the ODM chair would call power, the finishing power. So I think that we will be agreeing on the nuts and bolts of how to achieve what is outstanding, how to take stock of what we have so far done, and how to reassure Kenyans that Kenya is inching towards Singapore. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Mheshimiwa. Mheshimiwa Sanei, let's get your views as well. What do Kenyans expect? What do the people of Northeastern expect from this particular meeting?
I think it's not more of Northeastern, but a national issue, a national agenda. Being 1 year to the next general election in 2027, it's about formations and coalitions to make sure that the second term for His Excellency William Samoei Ruto is worked on. It's about structures, coalitions. That's what's at stake for me. It's not more of developmental performance appraisal 4 years down the line. This being the 5th, what has the government done? And thereafter, going forward, how are we planning to win a second term? To be precise, that is the agenda here. Thank you.
That is Mheshimiwa Sanei, of course. We need to wrap up this particular interview. We'll be coming back. We need to take a short commercial break by at least 8:34 currently. We're still waiting to see when the President as well as Dr. Oburu Oginga, the ODM party leader, will be currently arriving here any moment from now. Yesterday, what we can confirm to you as Kenyans is that both sides had the opportunity to have a kamkunji, both on the UDA side and the ODM side. Of course, they were meeting ahead of this particular meeting today so that they can get a feel of what they will be discussing today. Already a number of cabinet secretaries have already arrived. I told you earlier on the ICT cabinet secretary, that is William Kabogo, arrived here earlier on. Senator, if you'll allow us, we're currently live on KBC. You can just stand here. Senator from Nyeri. Senator, thank you for joining us this particular morning. As an outfit from both the UDA as the ODM, what are some of the expectations from leaders to Kenyans today?
Well, thank you very much for that very valid question. I think today we will be talking about Kenya moving forward, the unity of Kenya, the oneness of a nation, and most importantly, how we achieve unity in a country that will be tribeless, in a country that will be elected without mattering where you come from, and most importantly, where people will be able to sit down and talk as a people, not as a different communities within this ethnicity, where tribalism will be a thing of the past, and most importantly, people who've never been able to sit down on the same table will be able to sit down on the same table. It's known to everybody that Mount Kenya has never sat down with Nyanza. This is the beginning of a new chapter in the history of a country where people will start talking like leaders, prioritizing the things that Kenyans need to be doing, and that thing, development, and most important, where there will be no marginalization of any community because of the voting pattern. This is indeed the beginning of a new chapter that will be determining the future of our nation.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Senator. Let's allow you. You can see even the governor is here. The governor of Tharaka Nithi, that is Muthomi Njoki, as well as we've just seen Kenneth Lusaka, the governor, of course, of Bungoma, has also arrived here. These are some of the leaders who have converged here, just waiting for this particular meeting to start. We can see a host of members of parliament now currently walking up to this particular venue, and of course, even Governor Wilbur Tichilo. Governor, if you'll allow us, we're currently live on KBC Channel 1. Mheshimiwa Timothy, if you'll allow us. Governor, you can look at the camera there.
Yes.
Talk to Kenyans.
Yeah.
What do Kenyans expect from this particular meeting?
Thank you for this opportunity. I think we have come here as ODM and UDA to discuss on the way forward in terms of our coalition negotiations and also to chart the way forward for the country. Yeah, so I expect a lot. By tomorrow, we should be able to come up with a clear vision on how we want to work together. We are the two big parties in this country. Yes.
Thank you so much. That is Governor Otichilo. Mheshimiwa Timothy, karibu sana. Just tell us, aside from the issues that you'll be discussing here, will you be making priority on implementation of the NADCO report and the status of the broad-based government since inception?
Very good. First of all, we are here to lay the framework, a solid framework for the re-election of Dr. William Samoei Ruto for a second term. And in laying that framework, you know that we are working closely with our friends, the ODM. And of course, NADCO report is one of the issues that we are going to discuss solidly as members of parliament, because this is the vision of Raila Odinga. When we joined hands and formed the broad-based government, it means, therefore, we must also implement the vision of Raila Amolo Odinga. And therefore, largely, we shall be relooking at the NADCO report. And remember, that report has some areas that need legislation in Parliament. And also, we also be looking at that. And also, we shall also be looking at our scorecard as a government. For the last 3.5 years, 4 years, what have we achieved as a government? And I think also, you are aware that also ODM has joined us. And we are looking at formalizing that union so that we become one solid union as we head to the general elections.
Thank you so much, Mheshimiwa. Let's allow you to go inside. You can see the leaders are currently, of course, arriving here at the Naivasha resort. Some of them have congregated outside here because they're supposed to be having a meeting before they head over to the main. Senator Kajwang, kindly just stand here, please. We are sorry to ambush you. How are you, sir?
Thank you.
We are currently live on KBC Channel 1. Just looking at that camera, Senator, you could be standing here. Thank you so much. Just tell Kenyans what to expect today from this particular meeting that you'll be having.
We are coming together as partners in Kenya's governance and politics. We want to reflect on a few things. Of course, we want to reflect on our Vision 2060. What is it that we want to tell the people we are going to do if we are re-elected? But this re-election is not just for another 5 years. We are looking at the next generation. So we want to have detailed conversations about our political agenda and how it can carry the aspirations of our people, our youth into the future. Of course, lazima pia tujipange for the next election. We want to make sure that we win this next election emphatically so that we've got a strong mandate to run this country. We'll also be fusing together the ideologies of Raila Amolo Odinga and those of William Ruto so that we can come up with a blueprint that can ensure prosperity for Kenyans. So in as much as this is a political event, really what we are talking about is the future of this country, the future of the generations, and how to make sure that this country maximizes its true potential. Because that's the real purpose of politics and leadership. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Senator. Let's allow you to go inside. Mheshimiwa, you can stand here. Yeah. Give us your point of view. What should Kenyans expect today?
Thank you so much. We know very well that we are in broad-based government. And in broad-based government, I want to assure Kenyans that my key focus and what they should expect that this broad is fully grounded on best principles, politically, economically, and socially. And that is what should be the outcome of this meeting. And more so, when we are now left with 1 year down the line, we want to have a clear footpath or roadmap towards our general election that is effective, that is objective, that is enriched, that is inclusive, and carries all Kenyans along, regardless of which tribe. And I want to say that as leaders, both ODM and UDA, we should chant a path, a footpath that made us to fight for our independence in this country. And that should really be the focus. Based on the pillars that we have, that we should deliver to Kenyans, Kenyans should see leaders who are more committed to service delivery rather than personal interest. And that is why we are here today.
Thank you So much, Mheshimiwa. Of course, we need to let her go as well because they are having this particular meeting just behind us here, and they've already arrived as some of the leaders, of course, speaking to some of the issues they will be discussing, including the full implementation of the NADCO report. If you remember, a few months ago, these particular leaders had the opportunity to meet at the Kenyatta International Convention Center, where they got an opportunity to speak to some of the issues that were being failed to be implemented. And one of those issues was the NADCO report. Of course, they brought up a technical committee of both parliament and the political structures within the ODM and the UDA party just to ensure that they had that opportunity to fully implement that particular report. Also, they'll be having the particular opportunity to discuss issues to do with the Vision 2060. If you remember, the president just spoke a few days ago in terms of the vision plan they had for this particular country, with barely 4 years remaining to the conclusion of the 2030 meeting that will be happening here. And of course, if you can see, the leaders are still arriving. The security personnel, there is a heavy security personnel here just to ascertain the secureness of this particular leadership and the vicinity of this particular area. The leaders are currently arriving here. We can see even Mheshimiwa CNN. Mheshimiwa, quickly, before you head inside, just come and speak to Kenyans. Tell them what to expect today.
Today we are expecting the broad-based government to have a deliberations on how we are going to work together as a coalition. And we are here for business because we want to embrace everybody in this country in terms of governance here. Most of the minorities have been left behind in terms of formation of the government. That is why we are embracing inclusivity for all Kenyans, and we are eagerly waiting to listen to the president and also other party leaders to give us directions on how we are going to manage the next general elections. We are here as broad-based government.
Thank you, yes. Let's allow you to go inside as well. You can see also the security personnel clearing us from here. That means that any moment from now, President William Ruto, as well as the ODM party leader, that is Oburu Oginga, will be arriving here in just a few. Also, as I told you, they'll be taking stock of the UDA ODM coalition talks. We'll see how that will pan out, given that that is a conversation that has been happening across the country for a number of years. But for now, we need to take you back to our studios, as and when we come back here, we'll be giving you more from this particular meeting. If you can hear me, Vivian Dego, good morning to you. Coming to you live from Lake Naivasha Resort here. And of course, we've just had the opportunity to speak to some of the leaders here, already converged behind us for a smaller meeting. Of course, even the cabinet secretaries have already arrived, including one of our own, the ICTCS, that is William Kabogo. We have also seen Ali Hassan Joho, the head of public service, was the first one to arrive here, a high-ranking government official. You can also see CS Oroku passing through here as well. We can see other leaders as well passing here. Maybe CS Oroku, thank you for joining us. Just stand here, Waziri. Just talk to Kenyans. What can people expect from the broad-based government today?
I think first of all is to thank the President of Kenya for the leadership which he has shown, that the unity of the Republic is extremely important than anything else. Bringing together ODM and Kenya Kwanza so that we can take leadership of the nation. That is a very serious milestone. And the unity of the nation is key, so that it can be the basis of the development of our nation moving forward. We are talking about Vision 2063. For Vision 2063 to be achieved, all Kenyans must work together. The other day, President gave a report or issued a statement about this Vision 2063 and called upon all political parties, all Kenyans, all civil society, academia, and everybody, that this is the time to come together so that we can visualize the future of our nation as far as development is concerned. Democracy, Kenya has attained the highest level of democracy in the world. We need to attain also the levels of development, and we must put a serious foundation. Also, we have to take care of the next year general election moving forward. That is 2027 August next year. The general election we must know how to approach the general election. Today, it is exactly 365 days to the day of voting. Therefore, it's also a very significant day meeting here, that moving forward from tomorrow, we will come out and go to Kenyans as a unit, as united, and convince them that we are going to form the next government with the 4 agendas. We must develop a manifesto together for both Kenya Kwanza and ODM as a coalition. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Waziri. Let's allow you to go inside as well. You can see the Cabinet Secretary at least have given us the opportunity to speak to us. But for now, we need to hand you over